people kill themselves because you didn't stop blabbing. You try to advise something that you don't have any clue. So stop advising things you don't know. You rather sit next to a person and say, let's just pray, or let's take a walk.
Hello, welcome to my world where I tell my truth. My name is Lindy Sherries, and in today's video I'll be showing you some of the clips of when I got admitted at a mental health clinic. And please do note that the videos are not so clear, and also I'll be explaining what is depression. I'll be showing you the admission, the COVID test, how the hospital looked, the food that we eat, what not to say to a depressed person, the type of people that gets admitted, and even more. Okay guys, this is day one and I'm already admitted. I got here around 5 o'clock and I did my COVID test, and now I'm going to show you how my room looks. This is basically my bed, and I keep my clothes in here. I just threw everything in here. Yeah, this is all I have.
Depression is the #1 cause of disability in the whole world, and I've been suffering from depression, and it's so sad because most people don't understand what is depression. So in order to understand depression, just think of this. You have a cut, except a person cannot see that cut or a wound, and you're still feeling the same pain, except all of that is not visually in your eyes. And most people who are suffering from depression, they tend to be shy and they tend not to share their struggles because of the judgment and the stigma that is out there. Over 17 million people are suffering from depression, and it is time that we speak about depression. So the big question is, what is depression? Depression is the chemical imbalance that happens in your brain. So what happens is the neurotransmitters are not being transferred, or there's a shortage of serotonin or even dopamine. I'm sure you heard of people when they say, my dopamine has increased because I went to the gym. So those are other tricks that you can use to make sure that your dopamine goes up. Each person does have some sad feelings once in a while. So maybe you have a fight with your husband, or you failed at school, or you just had an argument, or things are not just going well. The person who has a depression and the person who doesn't have depression, they will react differently. So for a person who doesn't have depression, whenever these sad feelings comes, after a few hours or after a few minutes, something will happen and that person will be fine. But then with a person who has depression, when those feelings come, they tend to linger for like 2 weeks, and then that person will be down. And when I say a person is down, I mean they're slowly walking on a downward stairs, going into a deep hole. And then once they are there, they don't want to come back. And that's when everything is just hopeless. That person will either sleep or cry. And most people who don't have depression, they tend not to understand that. So this is day one at a mental health clinic. My clothes were packed, my bags were packed. So this is not the first time going there. So I knew that I needed more clothes, because last time I went there, I didn't have clothes. So I packed enough clothes for 2 weeks. And then we drove to Vista, which is in Centurion. In order to get admitted there, you do need a psychiatrist to actually sign you in, to actually admit you at a Vista clinic. And then there are different types of mental illness. There's schizophrenia, there's depression, there's anxiety, and there's also substance abuse. So who gets admitted at a mental health clinic? The person who gets admitted, the psychologist and the psychiatrist will do those assessments, and then they will see that maybe your state is worse. You do need to be taken out of the environment which is causing you to be so depressed, and then put you at a facility where you will get treatment and also attend counseling almost every day until you leave that environment. So I usually say that the people that you see walking at the highway, or maybe walking, the crazy people that you see, some of them, they're not bewitched, because we sometimes think maybe they are bewitched, that's why they're walking with these plastics. And some of them are not bewitched. It's because they had a mental health challenge and it wasn't treated. It got to a point where a person is now crazy. And then what happens at a mental health clinic? Just like when you go to a hospital, except this hospital is more casual, there's different environments, and there's grass, it's nice. I'll actually show you some clips of this place so that you can see how it looks. And what do you need to get admitted? You do need a medical aid, otherwise you will pay cash. If you do have money, you can pay cash. So when you have a medical aid, like your Discovery, your GEM medical aid, SAB medical aid, you can get admitted at a mental health clinic through a doctor. And I know some people who might complain and say my cover that I have in my medical aids won't actually get them admitted at a mental health clinic. No, even the lowest cover of Discovery, you can get admitted at a mental health clinic. What are the benefits of going there? The benefits of going there is you are removed from the situation to go focus on yourself. I always say you can never take care of other people if you are not fine. So I get moved from the environment that is causing, whether it's work, whether it's at home, then go to this place so that I can get treated. And then when I come back, I am a better person who's able to take care of my kids better. And I have noticed that most mothers will say, I will not leave my kids and go to a mental health clinic for 2 weeks. Guys, that's dangerous. If you do not take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of your kids at that state? I mean, a state where you're not waking up, a state where you're not eating, a state where your mind is playing tricks on you, and then you get to a point where you are actually crazy because you didn't take care of this small problem. What type of people get admitted there? You'll be so surprised. Everyone, your professors, your doctors, especially CEOs, those people at an exec level, those are the people that are getting admitted there. Teachers, police, traffic cops, teenagers. So instead of keeping your teen at home and say just because they try to commit suicide and you think maybe it's demonic and maybe they need to stay at home and then you can only pray, you can take your child there so that she can learn and get the skills of how to avoid even getting to a point of killing themselves. So it's not just a hospital where you just sleep and you're given pills. You don't sleep after 7 at Vista. There are sisters who will actually come and wake you up because they do need to know that you are up and you are functional. You do need to operate at a level where you are able to take care of yourself. So there's different classes that you attend, things like time management, things like what is depression, what is anxiety, how to breathe properly when you feel like you can't breathe, how to handle conflicts, how to forgive people, because some people who go there, they're actually not forgiving people, so they end up getting admitted there because the person stayed in that thought of that one person who hurt them and they're not able to move on. So this is an environment where I wish someone at some point need to get admitted and just learn all these things. More than anything, I want people to learn all of these things. We usually call it school of life because it is school of life. You don't just stay there and then get pills and then that's it. You connect with people, and not just people at a certain category. You connect with doctors, professors, husbands, wives. For those guys who are saying, I will never get admitted at a mental health clinic, and they rather cry and they rather maybe abuse their wives, rather go to Vista and get help so that you can stop abusing that wife, so you can stop so you can know how to take care of your family and in a loving environment. So I would advise people to get admitted at Vista. So obviously I packed my bags and we drove to Vista. This is in Centurion, by the way, closer to Momentum or Gautrain Station. And then I got admitted, but before getting admitted, I had to do my COVID test. And then I started getting admitted. So basically you take your bags and then go, and then the sister will take your height, your weight, so that they can understand and also create a file and try to understand your problem, so that daily they know when they wake you up, when you go through something, they would know that you are suffering from this. And then from there I was given a room, and since it was already late, it was after 5, people already had supper, so they had to organize me supper, and I had my spare supper there. Then I got to meet my roommates, because in a room you don't sleep alone, so there's usually 3 people. And there is a reason why you don't sleep alone. It's because what if you're suicidal, then you kill yourself, or if you're alone, then you get to think more about the situation that's making you depressed. But then if you are around people, obviously you will talk to those people, you will all share your problems, and the nice part is there's no judgment. I mean, we're all there suffering from something, and we do tend to share. And usually first day when someone gets admitted, they're usually at their worst state. And sometimes they're just tired, they just want to sleep, and then they will let you sleep, but then the following day at 7 you must be up. So around 7, between 7 and 8:30, you need to make sure that you shower so that you can have breakfast at 7:30. And then after that, classes starts at 8:30. And then you will attend your first class. So these classes are usually prescribed by your doctor, based on what you're suffering. Say, for example, you're suffering from for unforgiveness, or maybe you were raped and you're not able to forgive that person, then you will attend a class to do with being raped, or a class to do with forgiveness, a class to do with just managing your emotions. And then after attending that class, you will go back to your room, and then you will relax, and then there's a TV, you can watch TV, but usually we don't watch TV, we just talk and then meet different people. Those who smoke, there's a smoking area, you can go and smoke, and that's where people talk the most. So that area is usually nice. And then there is occupational therapy. So just like kids, guys, for those who didn't play when they were young, those who are fetching water from somewhere or working for their siblings, you didn't get a chance to play, so they give you a chance to play, and then you can go and create different things like your watches, your flower pots, hats, and you can just create whatever you want. And most people love occupational therapy. And then after around 4 or 5, our psychologists and our psychiatrists start coming, and then you go in queue to see them, and then you discuss how's your day and how you're feeling. And then if you're not feeling fine still, then based on that they will see whether they should increase your medication or not increase your medication. But the whole idea there is that every night you do need to sleep. Sleeping is important. If you don't sleep, then they do something about it to make sure that you sleep. But that doesn't mean that they drag you all the time. No, they don't drag you all the time. When you get to a point where you can't sleep now, you're able to manage your emotions, then they start reducing to a point where they even stop medication. People kill themselves because you didn't stop blabbing. You try to advise something that you don't have any clue. So stop advising things you don't know. There are ways to actually move away from depression by just doing certain things like your exercise, eating the right food, but you rather sit next to a person and say, let's just pray, or let's take a walk. Make them walk. If a person is sleeping too much, make them walk. Make them see different things. That will trick the brain, and then that person will sort of start feeling better. But then I'll be covering more detailed videos on that. And then from there, I was done with day 1, and this is what I've recorded before sleeping.
So I saw my psychologist and my psychiatrist, and yeah, we just had a brief talk about how I feel. And since I came in here late, and it was already around 6 when I saw them, so we didn't talk much except just the high level. And also admission required me to do some questionnaire where they ask about my background, and now I'm just going to try and relax. And yeah, I don't like this auto focus. And then kids are okay at home. Yeah, so it's good just to have time to yourself. So remember, I'm not doing this for the first time. Yeah, so it is another journey. Hopefully I'll get it right this time, because I did apply what I was taught previously, but I'm back here because I need to make the biggest decision in my life. And I won't share much on my first day. So I do have classes that I'll attend. And guys, I think I've attended these classes so like 4 times. So I already know some of the topics that they cover. But then I did ask my doctor to sign me on these other classes so that I can just refresh the knowledge and also use the information to teach the girls in the NGO. And for those of you who do not know, I also run an NGO in Tembisa. So those girls are suffering a lot with depression. So I want to go to these classes for that reason, so that I can go back and teach them. And do watch the journey. So it is a 2 weeks journey. So I'll try and record almost every day, but short clips, and give you useful information that you can use. Because I think now it's time where those of us who do get depressed, not hide, try as hard as we can to fight the stigma and to talk, so that more people can start talking. Because people are so reserved and they don't want to share what they're going through. And hopefully you are well. Take care of your mentals, and do pray if you believe in God. If you don't, I don't know what to say to you. I think God is the way. So that's my belief and my preference. And if you don't know God, yeah, just ask and read your Bible. He will reveal himself to you. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've learned something, and please do share this video because I really want people to know more about depression. And thank you so much for supporting me on my previous video. It is doing well and you guys are helping me fulfill the purpose. Thank you so much.